Hello, everyone. Come on in. Tell me where you're signing in from. And I have so much to share with you because I just do. So when you come and I see people here, tell me where you're signing in from. And let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about how to evolve, how to understand when you are stuck. Let's talk about how to understand when you're stuck. How does your body tell you you're stuck? You know, people often come to me in therapy and they want to become unstuck. Like, who doesn't want to become unstuck? Who doesn't want to flow like water, right? Water is the element of the ultimate ease, alignment, balance, harmony, right? Water will always find a way to flow, but it does so by seeking the lowest ground, right? Water always goes to where the lowest ground is. This is the beautiful thing about water. And in that message that water only goes to the lowest ground, and the Tao talks about this beautifully, is that it's about losing your ego, dissolving your barrier, resolving your resistance, and you go down, right? So, let's talk about how we know when we are stuck. The first way to know that we are stuck is that we feel stuck. You know, you feel it in your body. Your chest constricts, your mind shuts down, you're having a visceral reaction. Now, when you have that reaction, it could be a pure repetition of a PTSD, right? Of a reaction that happened before. Exact repetition. Or it could be a pattern repetition, meaning you are back in this place because you've been in many places like this before from childhood, and you're having a repeat of an emotional experience. It's very important for us to know our patterns, because if we don't know our patterns, we truly trick ourselves to believe that what's happening right now is the reason for our pain. But we don't realize that it's either a repeat of a trauma or most likely a repetition of a pattern that keeps repeating itself. But because we don't know our patterns, we think it's happening right here, right now. But in my life, whenever my emotional needle is moved too much, I know that I am in my quote-unquote pain body. My ego has been activated because there's an old wound that has been triggered. Now, how to learn this, right? It's easy for me to say this, and it's easy for you to go, yeah. But nobody really can do this in the moment. Because in the moment, you need training. Right, so Sandra NYC says, I don't know my pattern. Rita Shivnani says, how to find out patterns. Ashies Landbree says, yes, how do you learn it? How do you do it? Did anybody attend my webinar, my last 2 free webinars? Did anyone here attend my free webinar? 2 of them. Well, if you didn't, I talk about, Sakina says, how do you know your patterns? Okay, so in the webinars, I talked about my method to help people uncover their patterns. So if you guys saw it, did you see the system that I've created, right? Because I've been working with people for over 25 years, and I get the same question, yes, how do you know your patterns? There's a system that I've created. And if we don't learn the system, how to do it? I mean, I can't keep coming on Instagram lives and keep giving you all the teachings, because you need to do the work, right? So the work involves systematically going through a pattern. So when you understand that there's a method to deconstructing yourself, and you invest the energy to do that work, then you begin to break free, right? So I talk about the 3 phases: the breaking down, the breaking through, and the breaking free. And if you missed the webinar, then put it here that you've missed the webinar, and I'll see how to get you the link. I think that if you go to Linktree in my bio, the link to the webinar may still be up. So just go check, but it was on a clock, so I don't know whether it's still available. But you can write down your email and we'll try to send it to you. So in the webinars, I talked about this method, how, you know, in each step of the way, you have to do certain things to take you to the next step, right? So when you want to lose weight, for example, or you want to become fitter, you can't just think it and listen to somebody on Instagram. You have to do certain things step by step. You have to eliminate the bad food. You have to bring in the good food. You have to be consistent. You have to have a community. You have to learn a method to then make it a lifestyle. So what I share in my coaching institute, I've created a school that teaches this method. And the deadline is tonight. Like the deadline to apply is tonight. So if you are out there and you are wanting to learn the method and dedicate your time and dedicate your resources and dedicate your energy to really mastering yourself, then go to my website or the Linktree bio and go to my coaching institute and explore it. See if the coaching institute is something you want to do. I do it twice a year, and the deadline is tonight for this cohort starting next month. But you could learn for next cohort starting next February. So the link is going to be posted here. You can go and explore it. So I had somebody from Papua New Guinea write to me saying that they want to do the method. I had somebody from Iraq who's joining in. So a gay man from California is joining. A lot of women who've done businesses who don't feel joy, who don't feel service. The link is there. They are joining. And of course, a lot of parents who are moved by the message of conscious parenting are joining. So again, if you want to really master yourself and your relationships, then you need to learn this. So Rupin, you want to come live and talk about the Coaching Institute? He's one of my coaches. So Rupin, if you are, send a request and I will invite you to talk about the Coaching Institute. And if any other coaches are here, let me know and I will call you on for a moment. So the Coaching Institute is a 5-month online program, and you can do it from anywhere in the world in your pajamas. And every week you get content to learn how to do this method, how to break down, how to break through, and how to break free. So I'm going to call Rupin. He is a parent and he became a coach. So Rita, you've started the Awakened Heart. Hey, Rupin. Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Brenda,
How are you doing?
you're a coach. Are you a coach from my coaching institute? So send a request if you've graduated. So Rupin, where are you living? Why did you join the Coaching Institute? And what did you learn from it?
Yeah, so, well, I live in the UK, near London, and I was already going through so many changes in my life. I've told you I was getting a divorce and was falling out with all of my family members and just trying to figure out exactly who I was. And I think I was very depressed and I was like in a really bad place and I didn't really know who to follow or what to kind of like how to guide myself towards a healthier lifestyle and to find myself and to be authentic and the fullest version of myself. So then when I found your content on Mind Valley, on the podcasts and YouTube and stuff, and I just really aligned with what you were saying and I felt that you kind of got it really well. So then, you know, it was impulsive. It was a bit of a whim to, you know, just go for the Coaching Institute and to change my life, kind of pick a new career and start something different. So found it through your Instagram adverts and signed up and decided to, you know, go all in as well. You know, some people, they do coaching and courses and stuff and they don't follow it through all the way for the rest of their career and their journey. But, you know, I really value it and see that the work that we do is so needed. for so many people that I'm just all in. And, you know, I'm one of the coaches that has come out, graduated, and
Okay, so
is
hold on, Rupen.
coaching all the time now.
Did you have a psychology background or any sort of background? What was your
No.
background?
No, actually, yeah, I was an optician before. So I was working for a big company in the UK called Boots and doing eye tests. And actually, I was still an optician when I signed up for the coaching institute. So it was just that I graduated in Feb, and then circumstances changed, and I left work in Feb at the same time. So kind of worked out nicely with the timing. But no, I had nothing to do with psychology. I probably didn't really believe that mental health was a real thing until I started to go through it myself. So it was like, you know, it was all new, it was all learning, and quite eye-opening. And a couple of times throughout the course, I maybe felt like there was a fresh wound that I was like breaking a part of myself, and like really starting to I guess re-examine parts of myself that I didn't know were there. Like I had to really break through, and like, you know, it wasn't smooth sailing. It wasn't straightforward. It was very sort of like up and down, and the growth that I was going through it was all inwards, and it was learning a lot about myself and how I was creating patterns in my life, and how I was connecting with other people and stuff like that. So is very deep. It's very
So
phenomenal
Rupen
and
was in my
transformational.
coaching institute, guys. What, till graduation? Like, when did I realize that you were there?
Oh yeah, I was the
I
best
couldn't
kept
believe
secret
it.
in
I
the
was like, no,
in the
and not
coach.
to like put you on any pedestal, but when a young man comes, he's not a parent, you are like, oh my goodness, like I need to like
Right,
put you on stage and scream from the rooftops, because you are who we need. You're the next generation of parents. You're the next generation of young
right.
people. And so it's just been amazing to see your journey. But I want to ask you some more questions. So even though you didn't know psychology and you were an optician and you didn't speak this language, I know it was hard. You said it was hard. Was it understandable? Was it doable though? Like, did you feel you could digest it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think that the content that is actually in each week, there's so much there that you know, it kind of like just goes over it a couple of times, and you make sure that you really have got it. And it's up to you, I guess, to take what, like, the learnings that you get each week, and then to expand on that, to kind of discuss it in the WhatsApp groups with the rest of the gang, make sure that you kind of understand things. And then, you know, and every week we had the Q&A sessions on Zoom, like with you. We had access to you for like two hours or something. We could just, like, you know, put a few questions on there if there was something that was, I guess, just like too complicated or beyond us, which I didn't think really happened for me that often. I think there was some stuff like attachment, you know, stuff about attachment, perhaps like ADHD, like all of these kind of things were big learnings for me, and really kind of like expanded my knowledge in new avenues. But then, you know, there's a lot of extra resources that were available. There probably is more than you can actually absorb in that amount of time. It's like there's so much there, and it's like 20 hours of content a week, isn't it, that you're providing. So I did find that was adequate in terms of the amount that you receive, and the way that it was delivered is, like, I guess approachable is a really nice word to use. Like anybody, like being who I am, not from a psychology background, not, I guess, educated in that mental health sphere, that I did understand it, and could I could take away that understandings quite quickly, and there's so much support and people around that. I don't think that you can
So
possibly have a
somebody's saying,
question
put this man
unanswered.
on stage and on the road. Yes. So Ruben, so it now you
Yeah.
have this life purpose. I know that you're filled with this passion, and that's what I talk about, that this institute is for growth and service. So you grew, and now you're filled with passion to serve others. So talk about
Yeah.
that, how you've changed your life path, and what are you
Right.
doing with all this transformation?
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, it's really cool to be here to speak about it just now because I'm so passionate about it, and I really believe that the work that I'm doing finally feels like purpose, and it feels like I have a direction and a goal that that I can maybe lay my head down at the end of my life and feel like I've done a good job of my existence on this planet, and that the work is so vital and needed. And there are a lot of children that unfortunately go through very difficult circumstances, chaotic homes, and there might just be very simple things that the parents could change overnight, and they just don't know that they could change it, or they don't want to look at themselves as the problem. And so, being in this line of work, like the more people that are aware of conscious parenting, the healthier families are going to be, and the more children that will be able to grow authentically into who they were already meant to be. So, you know, just sharing and talking about it is already brilliant for me. I'm really loving being like on Instagram Lives, like doing YouTubes, podcasts, stuff like that. So if anybody
Right.
wants
So
to
Rupin,
catch up with me,
give
they
us
feel
your
free.
handle
Like, you know,
so people can
it's
ask you questions, and make sure that it's
sure.
at Rupin, RUPINRACH. So write to him and ask him questions. Maybe you can
Exactly.
do a webinar for them and people who want to know more. We're talking about my coaching institute. Rupin is a recent
Cool.
graduate. He's not a parent, did not come from psychology,
Yeah.
was an optician. I didn't even know he was in the institute. He was so quiet,
Yes.
but he is now a coach. He is our next generation that's going to help change the world. He's not yet a parent, and he's doing this work, and he saw the value of this work. So Rupin, were there people from all over the world in your cohort as well?
Yeah, so well, I was one of about 20 people in the UK. And I think the WhatsApp groups kind of like they identified by their nationality, by their country region. So I did get really close to all of the UK lots. And then there was a big Facebook group with everybody in there. I think we had like 140 people in our cohort, which was so big. And I think that's why I was so quiet. I was quite overwhelmed by by the size of the people, and also the I guess the energy that everybody brings. It's like very beautiful energy, and I was not ready for that. Like the person that I was when I started the coaching institute, I wasn't capable of connecting with myself, and I felt a little bit out of place in that community group. And the more that I just said that, and more that I spoke out loud and said, like, you know, I don't really know how to connect with my energy and to feel within and my spirit and all that kind of stuff, then everybody was like, well, you know, we actually struggle with that too. And I thought it was because I was male, and I thought it was because I was maybe the narcissist, or because I had all of these other issues. And actually we just all struggle with listening to ourselves and connecting with ourselves, and being open and honest with myself about that kind of stuff really helped, and it built those relationships. So now I have like a good friend in Croatia who I'm really looking forward to going and seeing, like one over in Canada, a couple in the US, like there's one in Australia, India. Like there's just this long list of people who I'm gonna go and visit, you know, over the next 12 months, and then hopefully end up in New
In
York, right,
graduation,
for
yes. So,
graduation
Rupin,
whenever
you
we do
really have
that.
transformed, because you were so shy, and look at you now, and you've come here, and you're so articulate, and you're so charming, and you have the energy that it takes to be a transformative healer. And most of my coaches go from this place of insecurity and doubt, but when they finish the institute, they emerge into their soaring
Yeah.
butterflies, and you're one of them. And but you're not alone. Like, right, you've seen this transformation happen with so many of your friends, because the institute shows you to
Yeah.
release your ego. You know, you were shy because you didn't want to show up because you were afraid of rejection, and now you're showing up
Right.
totally cold. We didn't plan this. You didn't even, I didn't even, when I woke up this morning, I didn't even know I was going to
Yeah.
talk to Rupin, right? So this is the beauty of showing up.
No,
And
it's
the
great.
program, I think the Institute's greatest gift to people is that it shows them their false self, and that they don't need to live in false self anymore.
Yes. Mm. Yeah, the institute, like it grows the attendees us, the attendees of the institute, first and the most probably. And then I always say to like my clients and friends and stuff that you can't really coach people further than you've gone on the journey. So you have to do the work, and you have to go inwards and take it as far as you possibly can, and keep growing. Like even after the coaching, the institute's done, like, you know, we all talk very often, and we grow, and we do the alumni stuff. So, you know, it's really just about pushing myself deeper into the work so that I can actually help more and more people, and I can feel it. Like it comes out in empathy, and the empathy will show up in different random places where I'm not even speaking to clients. I'll just be like on the bus speaking to somebody, having a chat, and I'll actually hear what they're saying, and I'll actually be able to hear like the story that they've gone through, and I'll care. You know, like that's a big difference for me. Like I didn't really care about some random person before, and now I care about everybody all the time, because I can see how we're all going through this journey together, and that we're all sort of like, we're all one. And without getting too ethereal and too like spiritual on this quick chat, it's like, you know, you don't know how much impact you're going to have, and so if you can choose your impact, then you might as well choose a positive impact, because you can either choose neutral or positive to strangers. You know, it's like, it's not, there's no need for anything less than that. And it wasn't possible for me before. Like I just wasn't that type of person. I didn't care. I used to see people as utilities for progression in the goals that I already had, and if people didn't align with what I needed them to be, then they weren't worth my time. And that's just such a totally different change. And you know, I'm grateful for all of the changes that I've been through, but more than that, like I'm grateful to be a part of, you know, something good for the future. And I can really see how these kinds of changes that we're making, and this kind of work that we're doing, is already just laying the foundations for a more peaceful, more mindful, more beautiful world, that like the children get to grow up in safe, happy, content houses, like without all of these, you know, addictions and abuses and dysfunction that just goes unnoticed, because until the child's like 15, they can't really say too much against their parents, and by that time, you know, they're cool enough that their parents actually like hanging out with them, and so they just forget about all of the, you know, the previous 10 years where they were just a nuisance and all that kind of stuff. And so the future of parenting and the future of the planet is very much in the hands of the children, and what happens next to them. So I'm really grateful to be a part of this movement, and will continue. I will continue. It's like, it's something that I've definitely taken to, and feel like it's my calling, and it aligns with me well. And you know, it is a commitment. So if somebody's thinking about doing the Coaching Institute, it takes a lot of your time, and it takes a lot of your energy, and also it takes a lot of dedication. And it's a really, it's a very intimate role. Like you get to find out people's deep life story, like all of their I guess the worst parts of their life sometimes, and it's a sacred bond that you get with your clients. So I would say, like, you know, if somebody wants to do it, like, just recognize that it is a big commitment, and it is a big role that you play in other people's lives. And I know a lot of coaches who do it part-time, like they work and they do their coaching as well. So, you know, I've decided to do it full-time, and that's not for everybody, but it's a powerful position that you
Oh my goodness. So Rupin, guys,
lives.
you don't understand. I cannot recognize Rupin, okay? Like, not to put you down, you were cute as can be before, but you were so guarded before, you know? Like, you were hidden, you were closed, and you were, like you said, you were not comfortable showing up. Rupin, I swear I would not recognize you.
Yeah.
You are so open now, so transparent, so here. Like, I see Rupin. Before, I just saw your ego. And this is what this work does. I mean, this is what the work does. So Rupin came off the streets, an optician, not a parent, going through a divorce. He did not even show himself in the institute till the very end, but now he's connected to everybody. Everybody knows Rupin, and he's transformed himself. This is what you said, you can only take another person as far as you've gone. So for people looking for better relationships, people looking to become better parents, people looking to become skinny and healthy, whatever your goal is, you can only go as far as you've deeply understood yourself. Nothing will work in your life. Eventually, everything will come to a screeching halt because you have a limit on your own self-awareness. And Rupin, you are literally that testament.
Yeah.
So couple things. We're talking about the Coaching Institute. This is Rupin. He's a coach. You can talk to him at Rupin, R-A-C-H. So at R-U-P-I-N, R-A-C-H. You can DM him. The Coaching Institute was something he did on her whim. He saw me on Instagram. He didn't know me. He took a risk. It changed his life. The Institute is open till midnight tonight for applications. If you're interested, go to my website, drshefali.com. The link is here. And Swati, I know you're listening. Swati is another one of our coaches. I'm going to come back in 2 hours or so. So Swati, if you're there, I'll call you live. And we'll have this all through the day. So thank you, Rupin, for your testimony and for others for listening. So come join the Coaching Institute, people. Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you, Rupin. Bye.
Yes. Great. Thanks. Bye. Catch up soon.
Thank you. Thank you.